Greetings and salutations, gentle viewers. You may notice by the title of this video, this isn't my normal fare. Yes, I am jumping into the fray of social issues. But worry not. If you only come here for my Let's Plays and pseudo-machinima, that's not going away. If you'd rather remain ignorant of my political leanings, because as we all know, it's a lot easier to project your own beliefs on a blank slate, then also don't worry, as this is both the first and last video on such topics that will be on this channel. This will remain a gaming channel first and foremost, and while my politics might express themselves subtly in my gaming videos, I do not plan to make any more videos like this on this channel. Instead, I have started a new channel, Thus Spoke Solomon, where any future non-gaming videos will go, and this video will be uploaded there as well. So if you do want to know my politics, keep watching and go sub to the new channel. Otherwise, click away now. So, a bit of context for you. This is a response to one C.R. Williams. This little Twitter tiff began when self-proclaimed alpha male and pet skull aficionado Davis M.J. Arini tweeted out a little story called Beta of the Month, complete with hashtag cuckold tags. The story is about a white woman who cheated on her white husband with a black man and had a mixed-race daughter from it. The couple stayed together for the sake of the kids, and the story is about the woman trying to explain to her son from her husband why his sister looks different. Now, of course, since this was shared by a champion of men's rights, the story is filled with all sorts of commentary about the woman's, quote, cheating whorishness, unquote. Anyways, I follow Arini for the comedy. But another fellow named Gentleman Jack came along, saying how this made him rethink MRAs because men have zero legal rights to punish women who do shit like this. Well, Jack, I mean, that's just not true. In Saudi Arabia, they sure do. Perhaps you should move there. But so it was at this point I felt the need to interject with, yeah, people have zero legal right to punish people for who they choose to sleep with. If that makes you want to be an MRA, I'd say it's too late. Now, I'm not going to rehash the whole Twitter exchange here. I'll share a link in the description to my response, and you can all peruse it at your leisure. Suffice it to say that C.R. Williams eventually jumped in and started making the topic about parenting, and making a marriage work for the sake of the children. Which, by the way, the woman in the story did. After a lengthy exchange, CR decided to make a video to me. It was the first video anyone's ever made to me, so even though it's pretty low-hanging fruit, I just have to respond.
Okay, so a few days ago I stumbled on this Twitter conversation, and I was going to respond to one of these people in the conversation with a more serious response video on this, and I could dig deeper into it with you. You ain't ready for that.
I was born ready, CR. Let's do this.
And then I kind of decided against it and decided to do more of a video insulting the person because I got the feeling that this person was a troll and really didn't mean what they were saying. They were just trolling for responses.
You're incorrect, CR. I am most definitely not a troll, and I mean every word. Now you will see just how serious I am. Trolling and shitposting, by the way, are, in my opinion, the bane of the information age. No one ever knows when people are serious or not. It lets people with deplorable opinions get away with saying, just joking, brah, and it serves nothing except to polarize everyone.
At least I hope that's the case, given the Twitter name is GP Solomon, aka Great Pirate Solomon.
Yes, that's my brand. Thanks for the plug.
And given the fact that you were saying stuff like military families are neglecting their parental duties when they deploy, and you accuse me of neglecting my parental duties even though I don't have any, I'm not a father. When I deployed to Iraq to, quote, live out my alpha male fantasies, funny given, Great Pirate Solomon, huh?
Yes, I did claim that, and it's true. And yes, I quickly corrected myself, saying you were neglecting your parental duties since you had never actually said if you had kids or not. But it still works as a hypothetical. In any case, let's dig into the military family thing, shall we? So first of all, as you can see here, families are counted as single-parent families, even when the parents are married, if one of the parents is away for an extended period, such as military deployment. So yes, all the studies that you, well, didn't actually cite, but have probably heard about, maybe, that leads you to believe that single parents lead to worse outcomes than two-parent households include military families. So, by your own logic, if choosing to divorce because you're not happy together is irresponsible because it could possibly lead to bad outcomes for the kids, so is choosing to join the military for the same reasons. And in case you doubt that being in the military has the same negative effects associated with single parents, here is a study specifically on military families, showing just that. And by the way, all sources being used will be linked in the description box. On a side note, I'd also like to add that I'm not necessarily saying that I think that people who choose a career in the military and who have kids are neglecting their parental responsibilities, any more than I think that parents who get a divorce when they are unhappy are. I'm merely stating that if you believe parents who get a divorce are, because of the increased odds for negative outcomes for the child, by that line of reasoning you have to say the same for military parents. I personally don't say that. Pretty much all of the research on negative outcomes for various family structures comes with the caveat that these are generalities, and there are likely many difficult to quantify factors that play into a child's development. It's more about quality than quantity. A parent can, to some extent, make up for not having all the time in the world to spend with their child, whether that's because of divorce or deployment or employment, by making sure the time they do have is well spent. People choose to join the military for various reasons, sometimes because they have no other viable career options to support their family with, and I'm not going to pass judgment on anyone.
But I decided later on that, you know what, I am actually going to post a video response on this topic because I think there are certain things that need to be said. Some may wonder, well, you have such audacity here. How arrogant of you. How could you even think about talking about this subject? You said yourself you're not a father. You don't have any children. You're out there obviously in the background video. You're kayaking, having a good old time. Where are you to come off on lecturing me about the responsibilities of parenting? Well, the fact of the matter is that I am a taxpayer. My tax dollars go to pay for your children's public schooling. They go to pay for these entitlement programs that single mothers overwhelmingly benefit from. So yeah, I've earned the right to speak about this. Single mothers, when you stop expecting everyone else to pay for your children, then you can sit there and tell me I shouldn't be speaking about this. But until then, piss off.
Well, yes, champ. You pay taxes. As do I. And everyone else. That doesn't actually give you any right to do anything. What does give you the right to express your malformed and ignorant opinions is the First Amendment. Your status as a taxpayer gives your opinions no more weight or credence than anyone else's. And guess what? All of our tax dollars go to things we disagree with.
There are still any single mothers watching. I doubt there are. There's a certain fact that you guys need to know. Being a single mother greatly increases your child's chance of growing up to become a criminal. It increases their chance that they're not going to be a productive citizen in life. You're pretty much setting your child up for failure. Single fathers have got you beat. And I think this is because more single fathers than not understand that when you bring children into the equation, it's no longer about you or your happiness. Your children take priority. I think more fathers have that down than mothers in our modern world.
Well, this is all pulled directly from your asshole. Good job. Hope you used lube. Seriously though, would it have killed you to do the smallest fucking amount, just the tiniest bit of goddamned research before you started vomiting insane drivel from your fucking food hole? Alright, calm. Anyways, studies have shown little to no statistically relevant difference in outcomes between single mothers and fathers. In fact, as you can see here, the data suggests that, if anything, children raised by single fathers tend to be less well behaved in class, less successful at getting along with others, and put forth less effort. The data here also suggests that any perceived disadvantage to single mothers over single fathers can be chalked up to socioeconomic disadvantages, and that children with parents in higher socioeconomic classes do better, regardless of the parent's gender. In fact, this study turns your whole premise on its head, suggesting that the actual cause of poor outcomes in children in single-parent households is not related to the absence of a parent per se, but rather the loss of income, lower socioeconomic status, and the stress of the single parent trying to balance raising the child with working, suggesting that with a better social safety net, the differences between single-parent and dual-parent raised children might disappear entirely.
One of the most irresponsible justifications you can make for making a really irresponsible choice in life is it's about me and my happiness.
Your happiness is directly related to how well you do at pretty much everything in life. Unhappy people do worse at work, at school, at parenting, etc. You cannot make anyone else happy if you're fucked in the head. This study shows that two-parent households with high levels of parental conflict do worse than those without. In half of the outcomes, high-conflict, stepfather, and single-parent families were statistically indistinguishable, and I would be willing to bet that if economic factors were controlled for, high conflict would be worse. In any case, it shows that poor-quality marriages are no better off than single parents in terms of child outcomes.
Yes, and I hear this justification all the time from women. I don't hear it from men. I've yet to hear it from a man.
You've never heard a man plead his own happiness? So all those men that cheat on their wives, what exactly are they doing? Seriously, you call me the troll?
Which, speaking on that topic here, I'm going to bring up an incident that happened a few years ago, a little off topic, but very pertinent to the subject being discussed. I was reading on our article on a blog called the Blog of the Manly, and this article was basically encouraging the readers to just man up and marry that single mother. So needless to say, I responded in the comment section on why this was horrible advice to give men. And, of course, I backed up all the reasons with fact. I went into it with a bit of detail. The author, at one point, actually ended up projecting that whole, well, this ain't about your happiness or getting your dick wet in life and all that other stuff. I mean, I paraphrasing what he used in the comments, but needless to say, after the fact, I got banned from it. So I can't comment on Blog of Manly anymore. Oh, boo-hoo. Now, there's something else I want to delve into with the author of that article, with what he was saying with that. You see, you can easily take from what he was saying in the comments that he was so willing to have a guy step up and take responsibility for children that weren't even his. This is indicative of the fact that men still are expected by society and our legal system to be responsible for their children. The same cannot be said for the mothers.
It can't? You seem to be contradicting your own side's arguments. You're the ones always going on about how women always end up with custody. You know, the one that is legally responsible for those children. I know. Being consistent is difficult when your positions are batshit insane, but let's at least try,
Generally speaking, of course, and I understand this is not a black and white issue, but again, if you read the comments, one of the things the author had said was that, well, yeah, this is a vlog of the manly, and I'm not advising women, but if I was, I would give them my earful too, which pretty much indicates to me that he didn't really want to have a discussion about the other side on this either, and where they went wrong. And moreover, this is also indicative of the fact that there is still a whole subset of society that is more than willing to make these ready-made excuses and justifications on the behalf of irresponsible parenting on the mother's part versus when the father parents irresponsibly.
Yeah, no, I'm quite happy to take women to task for irresponsible parenting. There's plenty of it out there. I'm just not going to invent new kinds of irresponsible parenting just to stick it to women like you rational egalitarians.
But I will do the author's job for him on this one. Hey guys, look, if you're not entirely 100% sure you want a child with the woman you're with, then you need to put your foot down and say no.
Oh God, I see where this is going.
You need to go a step further, actually. You need to go out and buy yourself some good quality condoms, right? You need to keep those condoms in your possession, okay? And this is partly because you don't want to have to deal with the family court system if things go south. But more importantly, you don't want to add another single mother to this world, or you at least don't want to contribute to that. It is too late when you brought a child into this world.
Ah, damn, he didn't actually say it. But I can smell the evil women's are trying to trap you with kids nonsense from here. Keep them condoms close, boys. Check them for pinpricks and poked holes.
Let's harken back on the happiness portion of the topic here for a second. Are there many things more self-centered than putting your happiness over your children's well-being? I only ask this because, the butt pirate Solomon brought...
Should I even mention this? Ah, yeah, what the hell. Is it really shocking that the manly MRA flings casual homophobic remarks around? Hey, it's okay, CR. We aren't going to judge you for what you did with your bunkmates over there in Iraq. We know it gets lonely.
Brought this up. He said that happy couples raise happy children, which if you're divorced, you're no longer a couple by definition.
Actually, I said unhappy people, not couples, raise unhappy kids. See? I can be a pedantic cunt too.
So when the mother divorces the father of her children, for her happiness, is she really all that concerned with the well-being of her children in the first place? If the woman goes out and parties all night, doesn't take care of her children, is that good for the child's well-being? I mean, she's doing it for her happiness, remember, right? What if meth makes her happy?
If the woman wants to go out partying all night, one would assume that her kids are in bed. So as long as she has a babysitter of some kind present, there's nothing preventing her from still being taking care of her kids. And yes, if that's what actually is going to make her happy, then she's going to be better able to raise her children happily when she is home with them.
So you see, dude, I could take this in several different directions.
You've already taken it in several different directions. None of them were good.
But the fact of the matter is if we were to apply your logic across the board, then we'd also have to concede that self-centered people raise self-centered children.
Well, that's actually a non sequitur, but regardless, I've already stated that all humans are self-centered. It's part of human nature. And yes, human parents raise human kids.
Because at the end of the day, dude, this is what you're arguing for. If you've read your tweets, you're arguing essentially that parents should just put their children's well-being aside so they're happy first.
Well, no, that's not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing that in order to give your child the best possible upbringing, you, the parent, has to be a happy, well-adjusted person, and you should do anything within reason to get there. Getting out of a loveless marriage that sucks all happiness from you is within reason. Leaving your kids alone 24/7 to party constantly is not.
You are arguing in favor of single motherhood, which is a huge contributing factor in a lot of our crime rates. It's a huge contributing factor to our welfare state, dude.
No, I'm not arguing in favor for single motherhood. I'm arguing that families come in all shapes and sizes, and that all that really matters is having a loving, happy caregiver and having the means to support the child. And yeah, welfare is not a dirty word for me. But let me guess, you're pro-life, but fuck spending any money on those kids once they pop out?
That's what you're arguing for, just so somebody can be happy. Now, does that sound like responsible parenting to you? Because it sure as hell don't seem like it to me. At times like this, I'm just glad I went my own way.
Oh, you went your own way? How cute. You're a MGTOW? Wow, dude. What's it like being in a group so batshit insane that even other MRAs don't want to be associated with you? Keep taking that red pill, bro.
And speaking on that one, dude, you're getting talked to by a guy who has no children. So I gotta ask, on a scale from stupid to full retard, how do you feel?
Well, considering that I just wrecked all your arguments with facts, unlike your video, which is all feels, complete with citations and sources, I'd have to say pretty good. I gotta ask, though, if I'm on a, quote, scale from stupid to full retard, unquote, and I just wrecked you, well, how do you feel?
And I could dig deeper into it with you. You ain't ready for that. You are not.
Well, someone's not ready. I'm gonna guess it was the one who did zero fucking research and just regurgitated bullshit talking points he picked up on the fucking manosphere. But hey, that's just me.
In your tweets, when you mentioned single parent households, well, no, single fathers don't have the same issues of their kids growing up not being able to take care of themselves, and becoming criminals. That would be single mothers. So I can already tell you're not even ready to talk about that. You haven't really learned anything about what you're talking about before you started hitting that keyboard up.
Well, I already debunked the difference between single fathers and mothers earlier, so yeah, I was quite ready.
All right, and everyone else, y'all take her easy out there. Have a great day.
Alright, well, I guess that's all the verbal diarrhea you had in you, and I'd feel bad picking on the intellectually stunted anymore today, so I guess we'll just leave it there. Solomon out. Well, for those who made it this far, I guess now you know my politics, so go ahead and follow me on Twitter for more of them. Click on the pirate head to see more of my normal gaming videos, but if you want to see any more shit like this from me in the future, click the video over there on the left. It'll take you to the mirror of this vid on my new channel, and you can sub to that channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. And heads up, this will not count as one of my normal 2 videos a week, so this is just something extra. So don't worry about that. See you guys next time.